Hey, g'day and welcome back. This is Toby from Toby Fire and Steel. So last week you saw me stick this tang to this beautiful piece of spalted myrtle. I've now just drawn a line around it so you can see where the extremities of the tang are going to be. And then you just peel the tape itself off and you get a lovely clean surface left. If you've been enjoying these videos, please subscribe. I'm doing lots more build-alongs. If you want to sort of see more detail, let me know. I can sort of add more and more details in like measurements and that sort of stuff if that's what you'd like. So I've laid my bench grinder to its vertical position, and it's got the flat work rest, sorry. And I just basically run back on a 120 belt, I think it is, back pretty close to the line, knowing that obviously the thickness of the pencil gives me a little bit to play with. It's only at this point here you start to get some idea of what it's actually going to look like, and that is a pretty damn good looking handle, if I do say so myself. Spalted myrtle, stabilised, all ready to go. So you'll see me do a lot of this sort of stuff. I essentially just design how I want it to look in my head, start drawing different shapes and patterns and all that, and then just slowly etch away. I tend to use measurements either side to make sure it's equal. It's all well and good doing everything by eye, and I do a lot of things by eye, but there's nothing worse than chasing something that each line looks right, but somehow it looks off the skew. It takes more bites and stuff, so even though I've drawn a line, I don't just grind straight into that line. I'll grind in, I'll have a look at it, I'll feel it, see how ergonomic it seems to be. I have quite large hands, and this knife isn't actually for someone with big hands, so what I tend to do is I work a lot of it for my hand and then regularly get my wife to just hold it, check it, make sure that sort of stuff. She's got much smaller hands than me, meaning that if it feels really comfortable for me and it feels really comfortable for her, chances are it's going to be good for pretty much anybody. Starting to get that Coke bottle shape we all like now. So what I'm doing here is I'm laying the handle back onto the tang itself. And then that way I can actually draw around the transition onto that tape. So I just clamp this up, make sure it's all perfect. I pushed it down hard against the mat, knowing that the back two pieces are lined up. And as you can see, I just cut around it. And then I'll leave that piece of tape on the front, and it just protects from glue and whatnot while you're gluing up the handle. I'm actually having a lot of fun making this knife. It's nothing like I've done before. I've done quite a lot of forged knives and full tangs, but a big barbecue knife like this, I haven't thoroughly enjoyed doing it. I think I'll probably do a little run of them, I reckon. Maybe some more carbons and some stainless ones too. So now what I'm doing is I'm just hand sanding the front, meaning that that transition between the handle and the blade doesn't have to be messed with later. Because I can sand that now, and as I'm going up through those transitions, I get up to 1200, so I know I'm nice and smooth there, and then I really don't ever touch that one again. You often see people online asking how they can get the sanding marks out and that sort of stuff out, but this completely stops happening. You'll see me often put a little bit of dye in my glues. It just means that any squeeze out is pretty much indistinguishable from the handle. Not that you should get very much at all if your handles and your scales and your tang are all perfectly flat. Ooh la la. So I'm putting a pretty good coat on. It's quite thin, but I put it on all 4 surfaces. And the thing with this glue is it's an epoxy. It's really meant to squeeze pretty much all of it out. People talk about leaving, not squeezing it too tight and that sort of stuff. But actually, it's meant to bond the 2 layers together. The thicker the layer of glue, actually, the less strong the actual connection between the 2 surfaces is. You want 0.7 millimeter of glue in there in theory. So what I do here is I just little tiny bit of acetone on a cloth and I give it a wipe up, and then I wait till it's gone pretty jelly, like not fully hard but still not a liquid, and then I pull my tape off, which just means I can then clean up those transitions a little better with a rag and acetone. If it needs it and it starts getting a bit too jelly or something, I do put a brass scraper behind the rag and able to just get a really clean edge there. So you can see this thing's starting to look pretty awesome. It's going to be a really ergonomic handle. It's got some spikes in it, which ain't so comfortable right now. But you can see that it's actually be quite comfortable. So I try to keep the sides pretty flat. I go around and do all of the square surfaces like this, top, bottom and back, so that they're all completely 90 degrees to the handle and the blade itself. Then I start sculpting a little more. So this is a little tip that I can't remember where I got it from, but I do it a lot. I have a lot of my vices and tools, grinders, that sort of stuff, mounted on a large block of wood. And it just means that I don't have them permanently on the bench, and I just move them from underneath the bench onto the bench and clamp them down. It's a bit of genius. It saves me so much time. Again, you just see more of my sort of just doodling on the hand or getting an idea what I think I should start, and then can start working that off, and I might draw on it more. Just keep feeling it, really. Check the ergonomics against the human hand. Awesome. So if you've been liking my videos, there's a quick selection here of some of the stuff I've made over the last year or so. A lot of videos. I've really enjoyed making them. If you're enjoying the videos I make, please subscribe. Please share them with your friends. The bigger the channel gets, the more people get to see it. It's just how the algorithm seems to work. Thank you so much. And if you liked it, shoot over to my new podcast, which is Toby Fire and Steel Podcast. You can find on all your podcast suppliers. Awesome. Have a great day.